Welcome, traders, investors, punters and dribblers, to another Traders Community Podcast, and a happy Monday. The big news was pretty much the same except for one thing. Crypto really took off over the weekend and today with Bitcoin, Ethereum. Natural gas continued to slide. As far as stock markets go, it was quite a nice day, really. You had some nice moves up and down. The Dow itself was the leader. That finished up 100 odd handles. The Nasdaq was weak again, down 7, and the S&P was pretty much unchanged, just up 3. As far as the Nasdaq weakness, you can pretty well put it on the old Facebook Meta platforms, down 4%, and Alphabet, or better known as Google, was down 2%. That's that communications sector they come under. Gold futures settled higher again today, up $14. Oil was down a bit, but not much. There was a lot of chatter over the weekend. It was going to be down a tad, a fair bit, because of Biden, a desperate Biden trying to do a deal with Iran in the last minute here. That did not happen, and it's still around 91.50. So not sure what he's going to pull out of his arms. Also, as far as President Biden goes, he had a meeting with the new German Chancellor, was over here. And of course, the main topics would have been Ukraine, Russia, Nord Stream, and he's making all these promises that America's going to give them all this natural gas. I don't know where it's coming from, but given we have the same issue. So let's get started. We also traded, it's going to be a quick one today. We traded Donny, DWAC, we traded NVCT. What else we trade, mate?
Take 2 I'm in right now.
Yeah, Take 2 just reported. I did a little bit in Apple and Exxon. There was one other one.
I'm still short the Snap. The CHGG came out. I never did anything.
Oh, yeah, that just came out then. So, again, another busy earnings week. And we have all this on our weekly trading plan. If you like, that's got all the macro information.
I left the board of Facebook. Some guy.
What was that?
I don't know. One of the board members leaving.
Oh, from Facebook? Maybe he's probably trying to sell his shares before he goes, is he? So that's just breaking news there on Facebook. Of course, Peloton, that we played it on Friday. That was all the news again with takeovers. It was non-stop, apparently, on the CNBCs. And there was...
Apple? Did Apple join it or someone else did? It was, it might have been Apple.
Apple did what?
The rumors that they might buy them. Or Nike. It was Nike.
Yeah, sorry. The rumors Nike and Amazon, as far as Peloton goes. They're the two that are shoving around. So it was still, as far as the Dow goes, what made it up was basically Boeing was up 2.5 plus. Chevron was up around 2. And Boots Alliance, which used to be known as Walgreens, was up about 1%. And Microsoft was the one down. Okay, let's quickly go through the S&P. So here's the main ones we watch, of course. Russell, natural gas, oil, and S&P. So let's do S&P first. So S&P continued, as you can see, the daily. It's just spinning around the... this is actually the cash on this one. It's spinning around the median line here that we have. It didn't actually quite touch the Tenkan the other day or today, but you can see that's providing the support. We have that same wave that we're talking about. So basically, move that. That wasn't good. So basically, this is an ABC. A question of degree. Is it if you're a major bull, this would be correcting the whole move. We go higher. If you're a bear, this can be two things actually. This can be an A, B, C, and then eventually goes back up. Or this was a major top, and this is a 1, 2. Keep them open. You can see on this weekly channel, that's what we're watching. The height was a Cajun, and that's what we've again failed to get over that today. As far as 5 minutes, we got the futures and the cash to watch it. You can see they're slightly different, and we actually got some positive divergence in it down here. So that gave us a great buy. This morning, so we sold. We traded down here pretty much this morning. We traded this long. You saw the false break, and it was also 6/8 spit. But you saw, remember, that's one of the things I really watch for, because that's fully sated. And then we saw the same thing on the down. And look at this volume, right? So that's your spoos. We'll go through the NAS real quick with Madavi here. So you want to talk us through that one? That was the main one you traded today.
Yeah. Well, today was a really choppy day. I thought it would be weak all day in the NAS, but it was strong. It was kind of gave you that fake out. So I was not a big trader in it. I traded some mostly on the short side of things. Then I did some longs, but the best play in there for the NQs was right before the close. I seen it getting weaker. I see some of these BAB stocks starting to get weaker, and that's when I hit it. I'm still holding some short, as a matter of fact. So I think I'm holding all of it short.
Yeah, you've got, and you can see it gave a good signal.
Yeah.
That chart I just showed everyone on NASDAQ. The spoos. It went higher here. Remember, so that's positive. Negative divergence for the NASDAQ, right? Maybe you got the intraday divergence we watch and all that sort of thing. And we know why, right? Facebook. There's been a lot of people trying to talk up Facebook. Oh, it's a good buy. Zook, he's done well. Either there's people evacuating from that. We just heard, actually, Madabi mentioned director resign, or it's just no one's buying it, right? And so that they're getting out of the day traders are buying the dip. Anyway, you saw what's going on there. So that's a good negative divergence. And you saw a little kiss of death right here, right into the close. So that was a much bigger sell than the S&P. S&P was still a decent sell, though. And again, there's that same channel. You got an S&P, very similar. So these stocks move a lot for a lot because they got those same major stocks. It's just a bigger percentage of control in NASDAQ. That about covers that, eh?
Yeah. Then we have this NVCT. I didn't size up enough, but it was
that's this one here.
On Friday was below the IPO price, so they had to run it back today. I'm still looking at it, see if there's sometimes some big moves in the aftermarkets here. So I'm seeing if they're going to get another move here. I was just in take two as a short, and I covered. Now I'm waiting for. I don't know if the earnings are out yet, so I'll probably look to.
I don't see that they've dropped, but they might. So here's NVCT. This is the one we played this morning. I kind of stuffed this trade up, to be honest. I saw it go by, and that's when we were trading stuff down, but I misread another stock about a reverse split. And just because this took off and there wasn't much news, so we kind of got in late. I actually completely missed it, but you got in around here, I think, and you got that. But unfortunately, it pays to read the whole thing when you get a message, right? I got a text on it around here, and I guess I got too many at the same time, right? And that's why we tend to stay away from the dribblers and stuff on Twitter and that, because you can just get it wrong, right? But you did good there.
Yeah. So I did a couple of trades in that NV.
Shit, look how much I missed.
I got a nice trade off from Donnie.
Donnie was another one. So let me put that in.
I got what's that thing called?
DWAC, yeah. So here it is, but look at the sell. You actually made money short in this.
Yeah, I mean, on both sides. I made money on the short side, I think, than the long side. Just because I held a little bit of it and it happened to fall.
Right, so technically we looked at this. So this is one of those stocks that, it's Donald Trump, right? So it's got cults both ways. People who want to destroy it and people who want to run with it. So We're not sure of the news, so we tend to trade a lot of these technically. But so it dribbled up. It had, just like that other stock we saw in the futures on S&P, when it went through this high and came down, this, as I recall, is about, you got it pretty well short near the top there. So I can't remember where you got long. I was trading oil and gas.
I got long. I get long. I think I got long around 69.50.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you got, you held that. Okay, I remember now. That's why I didn't remember. So anyway, you can see it got there. This is a 3 minute. So let's look at a little bit longer term. So we can see what Donnie's been doing. Just like his namesake, it's been a little bit volatile. So this is where, on down here, we came down here. That was that break. And then finally, if you Elliott wave person, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And very perfect, and count it all out. So a lot of these stocks, the machines run perfectly, right? So look at that. You can see down there specifically what it did from a Murray point of view. And you also saw this heavy vol come in. So yeah, that's Donnie. And so Donnie, NVT. Let's have a look at tape 2 real quick. Because they do have earnings.
The earnings are out. I mean, it's going up right now.
Oh, yeah. Is this right? Wow. So
it was 64. I covered it. Short at 70. I covered it. I don't think even the earnings are out. I covered it.
Well, look at the range. It's like a $30 range.
64, and I was going to buy it, but I don't know if the earnings are out, so I'm just going to hold off.
Let me check.
The earnings. Until I see the earnings out, and I got a bid in for this NVCT. I don't know. I put some at 93, just for the hell of it. Just to gamble.
I'm just going to check. I haven't logged on to Reuters and stuff. Hang on. I'm trying to get out. I've actually got to run a baseball clinic tonight. Geez, I'm too much of a nice person sometimes. Or am I stupid? Haven't worked it out yet.
Yeah. Not the other day today. It was not. But it was a couple of good moves. Made it worth my while. I'm still holding on my baggage. Snap short.
I will do that in a minute. So here's take 2. So that was a short. If anyone had an order, sometimes we throw out orders like at 8/8 and plus 2/8 and you get filled. I didn't, but Johnny Hindsight did. But so that closed around 175, ran to 187, up 12, and then fell down to 163. So quite a volatile little stock, that one, today. Take 2. Let's have a quick look if it's actually out.
Check out this VLDR that's really running.
I've traded that. We've traded that before.
Yeah, a little bit of it at 7:30.
Oh, it's out. Here it is. I thought it must have been out. So take 2 did 124. They expected to do 112. Their revenues were 866. They were lower at 868. So they missed and cut guidance. So it looks like it went up on the EPS, and then when they realised the guidance, they trashed it. What was the other one you just said?
I just picked up a few of VLDR. Yeah, I was going to see if I could play around with it for a little bit.
So VLDR, VLDR is up. They did a pact with Amazon. So VLDR, a pact with Amazon. That's all the headline is, I see. You know what? We've traded this before. Yeah, it's a LiDAR stock. I think this is one of Johnny's holdings, actually. He's been telling us to buy this.
Oh, good.
Which, of course, we didn't. But good luck to him. So, yeah, that just jumped, peeps, from 375 to 750. And I will guarantee this will be a dribbler stock tomorrow. They'll be all over this one.
Oh, I'm in a few of them. I'm seeing it back off a little bit. I'll look to add more. I'm still got the NQ short. I'm still short snaps. And take 2, I guess the move's over. I guess the earnings are out, huh?
Yeah, their earnings are out. I thought you might have been reading this news. So basically they beat earnings and then they missed on revenues and lower guidance. So that initial pop-up was on earnings. So people who are watching LAZR or LAZR to be a sympathy with VLDR. So just as a heads up, we're not, by the way, we're not advising you to buy, sell, or do anything. This is not financial advice. This is a bunch of blokes telling stories.
If you like to jump off crib, then you can follow me. No parachute.
Exactly. Kramer's is where it's at. He's just the man when it comes to getting things right. Am I joking? Perhaps. Okay, so that's LAVTR. Let's go quickly. We did all the stock indexes. Actually, let's see what Annie did today. So ARC, K, these are all weekly. So on weekly charts, we can see the same pattern on nearly all of these that we just saw on stocks. So if we break down, these are your real weak ones, right? ARK, look at the weekly. ARK, that's SMH, sorry, my bad. ARK weekly's down here. And you can see this, we put this on our weekly, but just stick to this trend. You see these are weekly trends. These are more for your investor or strategies. But if you should know these levels no matter what speed you're trading, right? And then you can see the big pennant here on the video. So just no different to what's on the website, nothing to update there. Okay, let's get on to our energy.
I have more of this VLDR 693.
Okay, so it's trading around 704 right now. Let me spin that to like a 30-second chart. Okay, there you go, peeps. So anything this short term, you got to be wary of a cloud. But this is a news, so you're watching order flow. And as it develops, this will become more relevant. Look at this volume down below. That's what you want to look at. And look at your market maker box. Okay, let's get on that's NASDAQ we did. So I'm still not used to this. Okay, so here's our natty. As we said, this has been one of the great trades of the year, really. I mean, and hopefully you guys are following this. Remember, I said this is a stock the dribblers just need to stay away from. Punters, if you like a punt, you keep an eye on it. But the dribbler's going to get in up here because it's too cold. Here's too hot, all that sort of thing. So technically perfect. Double top. And that's a mirror, remember, the 2014. We gapped down. Remember, weekends, it's all about those weather models, and it just continued lower. We are now $1.25 from where all the punters and dribblers and the champion of it, Jim Cramer, was saying, it's the end of the world. This could do anything. I'm pretty sure it was Cramer. But anyway, one of those. Look what happened from that point. So we call that the dribbler index, and it's our ultimate contrarian. We use that a lot on some of this stuff. So, and basically stuff that's not normally traded, when it hits that with a peak, from the contrarian in you should be at least telling you to beware. So we actually have bounced off the low today, about 12 cents, with different models as they come in. So that's your natty. Nothing new there. A gap down. We have that gap above us. Okay, that's your risk to the top. Down, we have all this support where it last came. Remember, this is a big optionality. A lot of size gets done on OTC, so you keep an eye on those major points. $4, $4.25, $4.50, etc. Below here in the 5 minutes, we're riding this tanking, so that's your support at the meantime. And where did oil go? Oh, while we're looking for that, we should look at the big mover today as being Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, if you recall, came right down to this weekly channel that we discovered actually the other day. We hadn't been watching it too much, and so we were just fiddling with it. Someone, I think Meta Johnny, came up with this because he noticed that he was reading one of the whales And you look what happened, it held it and it rang hard. And Ethereum actually led this up. If you remember the weekly on Ethereum, that's what took this up. And then it exploded. Was there any specific news or was it just short covering with the whales and stuff? Do you know, Madhav, on Bitcoin?
I got a little bit more of this VLDR.
Okay. Well, I'll look at that in a sec. So, and so Ethereum's come right back to this breakdown level. So I said it led it as far as the weekly, but on the 4 hour, you can see the dramatic difference. I got them up over, that's the same time period. Let me go, what day are we? Got to get them exactly the same. Have I got it? Is that right? The 24th. Kind of cool, this feature. So you can see here that we had that powerful break through the cloud, and you can see Ethereum, see how it led it up right to that break point. So it's a tad a bit ahead. So if you're trading, you can bet algos are doing that. It trades very nice on Murray, actually. So you can see all that. That's a -2/8 to +2/8. That's a major extreme. So really, I look at that as speculative, a great speculative source. And I was looking at that when the SPOO started turning around, but the Nasdaq failed to. So all that came into the calculation. So the one more, who did you want me to just look at? Sorry, mate.
I just added more below $7 as VLTR.
Oh, VLDR. Okay, so VLDR, we can see it, the big sideways pennant. So 80% of the time, this is a flagpole, straight out, an old school tech pattern, 80 odd percent, that'll go the way it came. So that should be a continuation pattern. It looks like someone jumped on here and took off our CL. I just had it. Just bear with me. Let's look at the yields real quickly. As far as bonds, we all saw what happened last week, particularly in Europe, and I put something out there on that. But you've had massive moves there, particularly in things like Unicredit and Italy with this move. So the CDSs, I believe I have that on Twitter or it's on the website for you. As far as the only news today was consumer credit, and that increased by 18.9 billion. They were looking for 25 billion, and they're actually downgraded the previous month just a tad to 38.8. So to me, that's a good thing that people aren't getting so much in debt, right? But for an economy that's pumped, not so good. So let's have a quick read of. I'll read. There's your treasuries there. I didn't actually see the settle on them today. So what other stuff am I missing? Anything, mate? Madhav?
We did Donnie. I did the NVCT. Oh, Peloton. I did a couple of trades in too, long and short.
Yeah, that's been a scalper. Once those things get into the news, and you know there's big positions out there, they can be good things to trade. Just watch your order flow and your chart levels. So as far as the bonds go, the 10-year and the 30-year open up stronger. They backtracked for most of the day. And they found some support just around where they closed on Friday. And then we saw the longer tenors bounce. And by the end of the day, what we saw was the 30-year fell back 2 basis points down to 222. And if we go through the curve, the 2-year, which remember is the Fed rates that we look at, was down 3 basis points down to 129. So you can see a general weakness of the bonds, i.e. higher yields. So that's pretty well what's going on there. As far as the charts go, you can see that. That's a daily. As far as the CBOE, you can see it just on the weekly, just continue up. I have the Turkish one up here because there was a possible choice. But look at our 10-year. This is what I want you to watch. This flag that I've got written right here for you. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. Holds here, we come back down towards 150. We break it, which means we're getting over that 2%. Okay, so let's do a quick little overview of Valdor again. Is sitting around 705. And here, let me just quickly update our crude for you all. So we just really want a quick look at the 4 hour here. So there was news over the weekend, as everyone knows, to do with I think, is it in 2 or 3, is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks, Madavi, when they're meant, so they've just gone back to do try and trash out a deal with Iran and the US over nuclear treaty.
Sanctions waivers or whatever. So
yeah, but their meeting is so it's all ahead of the meeting, because obviously Biden's a little bit desperate with oil at 91 and all the situation with production, weather. You know, we could go on and on. So he's looking for a solution there. So fair enough, I guess, right? Kind of a mess, really.
In the first place. And
in the end of the day, it's a long way anyway for a short fix. Is it a sugar fix? It's much more, particularly if the economy, and that's part of it, right? So part of oil today was the same reason that we saw things like Norwegian cruise ships go up, is because of the reopening of the economy and things like that. So if we have another look here, so we see this nice little flag under tank, and it was a good short from last night. It wasn't a ton to be made because it already had gapped down. So the reopening of the economy and things like that. Bear with me one sec. Sorry, we're trying to get through this quickly, and we're trying to close out some last minute trades and stuff. So here's on the hourly. It's just a sideways move, and you can see that it really hasn't done much. It's just it's gone up sideways here, and if we go back to that 4 hours, you can see the high we went out on Friday, which was 7-year high of 93.22. The low was 90.76, and here we are at 91.59, right? So really a minimal effort. So if the market was as long as what we're led to believe, was speculative long, and if the news was that severe, this would have come down here a lot lower, right? You can see where it broke up from. So it gives you an overview of the mechanisms of there. And it's probably not as... are the dribblers not in here? I guess they're not. It didn't trade like they are. So that is about all from us. Let's have a quick overview of what we're actually in. Our major stocks. So I tend to look at 3 minute. I tend to go off whatever the main models are. So, and the main reason for that, here's the tip, is that the majority of people lose, most breaks are false, and a majority are based on 5 minute, 15 minute, and hourly. So if you can intermediate that, like 3, 18, 13, stuff like that, you will actually be getting the spit the right way around. In other words, that spit becomes your resistance and support. So just a good way to watch how a lot of these work. So as we go out, you can see S&P's 44.83, crude's 91.60, natty's 427.50, and Russell is 199 and change. So keep in mind your grid. Everything's on the weekly, the longer term structure. Let's have a look at ValDR one more time. That's slowly moving up again off that sideways, trying to break that cloud. Sorry, we got a rush. Can't spin as much as we'd like to, but we've kind of I've got other stuff I got to do. Tomorrow we have all the earnings and what's out again on the website. So we got, I want to say Pallets out tomorrow, which is big news. We have the trade balance out tomorrow. So that from last month was a record, I believe. That was $80 billion in debt. Compare that to Australia's one, which is a country like less than a tenth the size with a between 8 and 10 surplus every month. Anyway, so I've seen expectations from that from 79.5 to about 81. So really, that doesn't move. It used to be a big deal for Forex and bonds. It perhaps will be a bit more. We have the one you want to watch tomorrow is we have a 3-year Treasury auction tomorrow for $50 billion. So start watching your Treasury auctions, obviously with these yields where they are. Anything else you want to add, mate? I think that is about it. Let me have a quick look at some earnings. We mentioned Peloton. Yeah, Tuesday we have BP, which I saw doing a 52-week high. That's British Petroleum. We have IT, which is Gartner. Harley Davidson's out tomorrow. Hog. Lyft is out tomorrow. If you want to dribble a stock, Madavi, there you got it, buddy. That's out tomorrow. Lyft's expected to lose 46 cents. Hog is expected to lose 37. They must still be writing things off, I guess. BP's expected to do $1.18. Gartner's expected to make 247. And the big one out tomorrow is Pfizer, expected to do 85 cents. And that's about it, really. Anything else? Good question there. Uber is out the next day. So that's out on Wednesday. So that's the day after Lyft. So that's about it, right? So have a great evening. Like, subscribe, shoot us any questions. Any other things you would like to talk about? This is kind of short and sweet. Not a lot much really to tell other than what's happened. So we will see. We'll see everyone tomorrow. And enjoy. Be safe. Watch those aftermarkets. And avoid watching CNBC, perhaps. Unless